Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Driven Wild. Today we are talking about account violations on GrubHub. So while GrubHub is a very flexible delivery service, there is a risk of getting account violations which can jeopardize your ability to drive on the platform if the system is abused. I'll be honest with you, I have never gotten an account violation, but I have heard a lot of things and I know that GrubHub has a lot to say about it. So with that said, I want to go over everything that needs to be said about account violations, how it actually is for GrubHub drivers, what GrubHub tells you, and everything in between. So with that said, let's go over a disclaimer. The content of this video does not contain and is never intended to be legal, business, financial, tax, or health advice of any kind. This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is advised that you conduct your own research and consult with qualified professionals before applying anything you find online. I also want to be clear that with all of the things that I am about to say in this video, some of which may be market dependent. So what works for me as a driver may not work for you. So with that said, let's get started. GrubHub has updated its fraud prevention process to help you understand what violations are and how they work. A violation is a pattern or behavior that's usually associated with fraud, which is defined as an undesirable behavior that impacts the restaurant or diner. I'm glad that they actually define violation, even if it is a little vague on what undesirable really means, because I think that a lot of people will look at DoorDash and think what works on DoorDash as their contract violation is going to apply the same here, but in reality, you can get a violation for a lot of things. Through this process, you get a clear roadmap for exactly what behaviors might trigger a violation and how you can get back on the road if a violation occurs. If a violation occurs, you will receive a notification through the GrubHub for Drivers app and an email. You'll have a chance to review and acknowledge the violation via the app. If 3 violations occur, your account will be blocked and you won't be able to log on to the app. After you had a violation for 90 days, it will expire and be removed from your account. So first thing I want to acknowledge is that it's a 3-strike system. It's not you get 1 violation and you're deactivated. It's 3 strikes and you're out. But the one thing I will say is very different for a gig app in comparison to DoorDash and Uber Eats is that the violation is for 90 days. It's not you do 100 orders and you kind of work it off. It's 90 days worth of time, which is kind of unusual because a lot of these gig apps operate on a work it off policy. It's really interesting because a lot of GrubHub systems seem to operate on a real-time basis. Behaviors that can lead to an account violation. Unassigned orders. Accepting an order and refusing to complete the delivery, resulting in a delayed or canceled experience for the restaurant and diner. Now, it's important that you understand what is said here because I think that people will hear that and think, oh, if you unassign orders, you're going to get a contract violation. That's so cringe. No. It's you accept an order, you unassign the order, and because of that, the order had to be canceled or it ended up really delayed because you did that. That is how you got the violation, not because of the fact that you unassigned alone. So let's say you end up accepting a GrubHub order, you get to the restaurant, they tell you it's going to be a 20-minute wait time, which is a lot. But instead of you just unassigning the order, you decide, you know what, I'm going to turn on DoorDash and Uber Eats and Instacart and whatever else, and if somebody gives me an offer that beats that, I'm going to go do that order instead. It's not necessarily a bad strategy, but if you do end up getting an order that beats the GrubHub order you have, that's going to lead to an account violation because you're going to wait 10 minutes, you're going to get the new notification, you're going to unassign, you're going to leave. And then because you unassigned and left, they had to look for a new driver, which may have taken a longer period of time because of the amount of people it had to bounce around to in order for somebody else to actually take it. Then the order is significantly delayed because of the actions you took. Or you could have just unassigned the order immediate, and that wouldn't have affected your account. So there is a significant difference. Marking restaurants as closed when they are not closed. Reporting a restaurant closed within the app despite the restaurant being open and able to take orders. Now, I do want to be clear that support actually almost caused this for me down here. I did a delivery for a late night pizza place out here, right? It usually opens at 5 p.m. because they're catering to the bar crowd. I got the order at 4:30. The place doesn't open until 5. I called to have them unassign the order and get a partial pay. And because the support agent took half an hour, intentionally taking half an hour for them to try doing their job, they basically tried to scam me and give me an account violation for that. Thankfully, I never got the account violation, and thankfully, I just got the order canceled without an issue. But it was a really disgusting experience, and I hope that no one else has to go through something like that. But it's a dang shame that support agents end up almost causing that. Now, let's say you're reporting a restaurant closed for the sake of getting the partial pay. That's pretty messed up, man. Failing to deliver/delivering orders to the wrong place after pickup. Not completing orders by dropping orders off in the wrong location or by theft of orders/items. Dropping it off to the wrong location or stealing is going to lead to a account violation, which makes sense because the customer never got their order. What I'm surprised about is that known order theft is considered an account violation, not just a straight deactivation. That's interesting to me. Delaying pickup or drop off of orders you've accepted. Not moving to the restaurant/diner after accepting the order or leaving the restaurant. If you're utilizing a multi-apping strategy where you take an order on Uber Eats and then if you get an order on GrubHub going in the same direction and you decide to take that, get the Uber Eats order, then get the GrubHub order and then move your way down, that is a dangerous game to play now because you can genuinely get a contract violation for that. Overcharged orders, buying more items or services on the GrubHub for driver's card than were ordered by the diner. Now, what other people have mentioned in the past is that because of inflation around here, the prices went up, therefore the customer was overcharged in the eyes of GrubHub. That actually led to a driver getting an account violation, so that's why I don't typically do place and pays or any sort of shop and deliver orders on GrubHub. I don't like using that card. Masking/falsifying location, hiding or misrepresenting your actual location while available on the app. I don't even know how to do that. I know that people can do that, I just don't know how to do that. But don't do it. Falsifying delivery progress, giving incorrect information concerning arrival at the restaurant and order pickups and drop-offs. If a restaurant is trying to get you to claim that you've received the order when you haven't received the order, that can actually lead to an account violation. Do not claim that you received an order if you didn't get it yet. Don't say you arrived at a restaurant to avoid a contract violation because that will just lead to a contract violation itself. I think falsifying drop-offs is pretty self-explanatory. Avoiding drop-off photos, not providing a drop-off photo or backing out of the drop-off photo flow in an effort to hide delivery progress. Here's the thing about this. Let's say a customer comes out and takes the food from you. You don't take a photo for that reason. I've done that a lot, and I haven't gotten a contract violation for it once. The point of this is in the event that you don't do that and they report that they never got the food, then that is a reason to give you an account violation. For me, I haven't had that issue. What happens if I get one violation? If a violation has occurred, you will receive an in-app notification and email. Each notification contains details about the violation, including why and when it was received, helping you stay up to date on GrubHub's policies and avoid future violations. Offers blocked. You can't receive offers until you attend to your violation. And there's a button where you can view the violation. So until you acknowledge that you've received a violation, you can't move on. It kind of reminds me of how if you get written up, you have to sign to acknowledge the fact that you've been written up. In order to continue receiving offers, you'll need to acknowledge the violation through the GrubHub for Drivers app. Now, you see, this example that they give was never mentioned in the first article that we were reading. High number of cancellations. 15% of your orders were canceled between May 1st to May 7th. And of course, you could translate that week by week, but the point is that 15% of orders were canceled. I don't know how valid that example is, but I'll tell you what, I've had weeks where I've only done like 3 orders and I unassigned 1. That's a 33% cancellation rate. That didn't lead to an account violation. I think it's when it's a repetitive issue where you get the account violations. I do believe that a person is operating this, and a person is actually making sure, okay, is this a valid reason to give a guy an account violation? Because in some cases, it's just not. A violation expires after 90 days. Once it expires, the violation will be forgiven and removed from your account. If there's evidence supporting that this violation is inaccurate, please save it for later in case it is needed. Now, you see, here's the problem I have with that statement. They have not given you an opportunity at all so far to actually combat these violations. You can't just fight the violation yourself. You have to say, I understand I received a violation in order to move on. That's number 1. And number 2, you can't defend your case. At least with DoorDash, you have a little box to explain what happened to where you received the violation. Whether somebody looks at it, I don't know. But still, this is a pretty messed up scenario. I got a second violation. Can I still deliver? You can continue to receive offers and make deliveries immediately after acknowledging each of your violations without having to contact GrubHub for support. So strike 1, you have no problem. Strike 2, you have no problem, but you're on edge. Strike 3, then you have a problem because you got deactivated. However, if a third violation occurs before the first 2 have expired, your account will be blocked and you won't be able to log on to the app. Like I said, 3 strikes and you're out. To view the violations on your account at any time, navigate to the account tab in your app and scroll to the account violations section. So you would go to the hamburger menu, hit account, and hit account violations. And as you can see, I haven't received any. My account has been blocked due to account violations. What now? When your account is blocked due to 3 account violations within a 90-day period, your contract will be terminated. There will be an email sent to this address associated with your GrubHub account describing the next steps and appeal process where a driver will have the opportunity to provide details on the individual violations. You don't have the ability to fight the violations as you receive them, which is why you need to save the evidence in case this happens. And if that's the case, then you can defend yourself on pretty much old memories, because let's say you got your first violation happened 89 days ago. You're supposed to remember what happened 89 days ago. I barely remember what happened yesterday. Now, this is actually very different from DoorDash, where DoorDash, if you receive 3 violations, you can get deactivated and you won't have the opportunity to appeal. In this case, this is the only one you can appeal, which is so weird. I want an account violation removed. If you feel that a violation is inaccurate, do not reach out to driver care as they will not be able to help. After 90 days, the violation will automatically be removed from your account. If your account is blocked, you will be able to fill out the appeal form in the email sent to your account. So basically, you could get a violation for something totally not your fault that you couldn't even defend yourself for. And you have to acknowledge that you got the violation. But again, you don't even have the opportunity to defend yourself, and you just kind of have to take it? That's ridiculous. And I know that DoorDash says the same thing on their website, but you could still call the support team and they can remove it for you. I don't know if that applies to GrubHub as well, because I have never had an issue with account violations. I've never received one, so I really wouldn't know. But keep in mind, DoorDash says the same things and they can. It may work for GrubHub. I don't know. Now, I have a few side notes that I want to go over for account violations. You don't need account violations to be deactivated. Here's the reality. A lot of people will see this whole thing about account violations and think, oh, as long as I don't get 3 strikes, I will go out, right? Wrong. If they want to get rid of you, they're just going to. If they think that you're not a trusty GrubHub driver for some reason, they could deactivate you. If they think you're committing fraud for some reason, they could deactivate you. If they need to just get rid of a bunch of drivers for mass deactivations, violations, they could deactivate you. They may or may not go over why you got deactivated, but the fact is that they could genuinely just do it, and that's it. Account violations are a measurable reason to why you would be deactivated. It doesn't necessarily mean that you will never be deactivated. If it seems like a bad idea, it probably is. So if you are thinking of doing something that teeter-totters on the level of okay, as long as I do this quickly so that way they won't notice, I won't get an account violation, or if I multi-app in this way and they won't notice that I'm doing it, if it seems like a bad idea, it probably is. Don't try to game the system. Don't try to overwork yourself to just get money or whatever. I get it. There's a lot of opportunity here. It may just be a way to get yourself deactivated. Did I miss anything? Is there something else in terms of GrubHub account violations that I have not discussed in this video? Let me know in the comments. Let's make sure that everyone can keep their account safe and we know everything there is to know about account violations on GrubHub. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. As always, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!